What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you some information about Dragon Age the Veilguard, which just over the course of the past couple of days got some interesting information that I thought was worth sharing, including things like release dates, pricing, a sort of informal announcement about Morrigan's presence, which had been previously denied by the voice actor from my understanding, including a much better showcase of companions in general, alongside with some of their plans up until the point of release. So let's get the, I would say, more important information out of the way first. Dragon Age Veilguard here is officially releasing on October 31st, 2024. So just a couple of months from now, which I was especially happy to see simply because we actually got a release date for something, as a ton of stuff that is slated for later this year has yet to receive a release date that will probably get them at Gamescom here in a week or so, or a little less than that really, with Avowed and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 actually being pushed to 2025 recently. But either way, the information about the release date comes from a trailer they dropped for that date, which also showcased companions and things. But alongside the announcement of the release date, they also dropped information about pre-orders and pricing. Now, my main interest here was the pricing. Feel however you want about pre-orders, of course, but truth be told, I was much more interested in how much they were going to be charging for this, and I was actually pleasantly surprised here, as the base game is just going to be $60, and I was fully expecting them to push it into the $70 range, with some Ultimate Edition that would be $100 plus. But even in that regard, they managed to rein it in, as there is a deluxe edition that's available for $80. Though, I will say that that deluxe edition only seems to come with cosmetic skins as opposed to anything else. So unless you just really want the traditional blood dragon armor, there doesn't seem to be a ton of reason to pick up the deluxe version. So seeing this launch soon at a $60 price point was just pleasantly surprising to me personally, and I think honestly probably the biggest bit of news that we really could have gotten here. Now, I also mentioned that they showed off the companions in that trailer, and I wanted to say mostly here that I think this trailer did a much better job of showing off some of these companions at a glance than some of their initial marketing did, which I think really missed the mark. With the trailer sort of setting up your character, Rook, going about searching for allies, and the follow-up, of course, showing some of those allies, including, of course, a little cameo by Morrigan in there, confirming that she would be in the game, of course. Now, I will say Varric's continued, let's say, status as a living person is certainly up for debate, as none of this marketing has made me confident about his continued survival, but mostly I just wanted to say I think they set the characters up much better this time around, and a little later this month, over, I believe it's like August 26th through the end, they're going to have a week dedicated to the companions specifically, so we might learn a bit more about them beyond just conjecture. Now, other things that they have shown off here are some of the ways that you could customize your character, Rook, in an attempt to show off a bit of what the character creator is going to be capable of. As with this kind of game, I would say cosmetic portion of that is going to be very important to a lot of people, even if it's not personally my jam. Now, before we wrap this up, there are a couple of other things I wanted to mention specifically about their upcoming roadmap. Now, what they described as the week of the 19th, so I would assume just while Gamescom is ongoing, they said that they were going to have a focus on high-level combat as well as a spotlight on PC. Hands down, the thing I'm looking forward to the most about their upcoming bit of marketing is that high-level combat reveal, because much of my concerns about the early reveals of the game were that it didn't really show off too much of what combat was capable of, besides a very early look at the game where you're limited in terms of abilities and party combinations, etc. So I want to see a high-level overview of everything kind of in motion and how some of those abilities and things combine and what exactly that looks like beyond someone just telling me. I want to see it. So I'm very much so looking forward to that bit of marketing for myself, especially since the Dragon Age series has continued to evolve and change like fundamental core systems, leaving us with ultimately a completely different genre at this point, and combat being one of those things that a lot of people are up in the air about. And while the potential for change doesn't bother me as much as it does some, I still want to see like the sum total of what this combat system is going to look like to get an idea of it for myself. Now, beyond that, there were a couple other things to note. Apparently on August 30th, they're going to be doing a Q&A with the devs over in their Discord channel. And then later on in September, they're apparently partnering with IGN for a whole bunch of exclusive stuff, but obviously hard to say if any of that's actually going to be interesting information or not. But I will say that I think that's just about everything I wanted to include in this particular video. A lot of interesting details in there. But to wrap this up, we don't have too much longer to wait for the release date, and if they cover anything exceptionally interesting, I'll be going over that ahead of that time, and then of course reviewing it when the game actually launches. No idea if I'll get a review code for this or not, way too early to even guess at that. But as always, if I want to review something, it's getting reviewed, review key or no. Though, that is pretty much going to do it for this video. So I certainly hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think about all this stuff down in the comment section below. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.